What up, good people? It's your boy BTG, aka Bust Them Guns, back at you with another review. So as you can see from the title, we got a budget gun review we're working with today. It's going to be a tabletop as well as a range day review. I haven't really previewed either one of these on the channel. Let's start out by saying this video is for educational purposes only, and we are in a safe and controlled environment. We're not selling any firearms, nor are we selling any firearm accessories, and none of the weapons have been modified to enhance the firing mechanisms. So let's get started. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, set your notifications so you can catch future content. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you being along for the ride. If you would, check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well, because YouTube will recommend the content if you viewed it before, but you may not be subscribed. So I say that all the time. But that's the housekeeping. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So we've got here the G2C and we got the G3C, both of which were EDCs of mine when it first started. So we'll start with the G2C. Both of these we're going to get out to the range. We got some footage on these to just kind of give you a quick overview. The G2C was my original EDC. This was a nice low budget option. Let's go ahead and clear. Magazine's clear. Weapon is clear. We'll put that mag back in for a static. So this comes with a flat gray barrel. I polished the barrel up on both of these just to give it a little gloss. The G3C does have the chamber loaded indicator here that pops up if you got a round in there. For the G3C, they got rid of the pop-up, but they still left you the window so you can see if you got a round in there. On the G2Cs, they had these awkward sights on here. So this weird low profile, there's two dots in the rear, one up front, white dots. It is adjustable elevation, and I think it's adjustable windage as well. You got some windage there. But I never shot this bad boy well. It was always touch and go. I liked it because of the grip and because of the price. If you can see, full-size hand, you got the pinky extension there, and this Taurus has a nice aggressive grip texture. So that was a nice selling point. And for the money, this was sub $250, depending on where you found it. So the price was really right. You got a Picatinny rail on there, so you could put an accessory on there. And 12 round capacity, when these first dropped, this was kind of the beginning of the micro compact phase. That was good. That was solid capacity. So, and this one here, it's got some girth to it, but I like that, so this was a nice compact size for me. You got a little bump there or a little indent for your thumb, for your finger, So you got, and it is an exterior safety if that's something you like. In addition, safety on the trigger. So I like this. This bad boy worked for me. At the time, as far as capacity, 12 is what it came with. Came with two 12-round magazines. That was before Taurus came out with their 15 rounds. You can see this one has the 15 in it. And that was before the whole G3 thing where they got 17, so you can take it on up. My option for additional capacity was these SIG rounds. These are made by Medgar. This is for the SIG 226. Ironically, it's the same magazine as the Taurus. So this was my additional carry that I kept on my side for backup magazine. And this here is just a local printed adapter to go on there just to take up that space. But it works nice. Kind of matches the pattern. But yeah, that was it. 18. It was reliable. It ran fine. But then once they came out with the 15 rounds, then I kind of put these aside. I had two of these as backups. So I put those aside and I bought the 15 round for the backup. And that's what I was running with the G2C. Trigger-wise on this bad boy, I guess another benefit, if it is a benefit to you, is these have second strike capabilities on the trigger. So if for some reason that round doesn't go off, without having a racket, you can just fire it again. So first, show you the trigger. You got about a day and a half of travel on that bad boy. Then it finally hits the wall. Fire it through. If for some reason that round does not go off light primer strike, it goes into double action mode and you can just squeeze right back through and fire that round. I never had to use that, never had that issue. One thing is good for now is those laser targets like iTarget where you got the laser bullet and you can set the target up in the house for practice. It's good for that because normally with those with a striker fire single action, you got to keep racking the slide to reset the trigger to practice. Well, if you're using this, you can just keep pulling the trigger. So in that aspect, it's something good. But I had this not long, and they came out with the G3C, and supposedly the G3C was going to have a slightly better trigger, and it had different sights. So, well, let's clear it first. Clear there. Weapon is clear. So this bad boy here became my carry. I went ahead and picked this up. It does have like a Glock style sight. It does take Glock sights, so you can easily change those out if you want to put a set of sights on there. This one has safety as well. They kind of changed the design of the slide just a little bit, but still pretty much the same gun. Like I say, you lost the loaded round indicator, but you still got the window where you can see it. And the trigger didn't really feel any different. This one, I did put the Viridian laser on here as my carry. So that was the addition to this one. So this was my carry, but the trigger, same day and a half, free travel, bam, and then you come off of it. This set's not bad, but this trigger is by no means nothing to jump and shout about. I polished the barrel on this one as well, just to give it a little gloss. But this became my EDC, and this is what I was rocking with. And I was carrying the 15. I actually had two 15s that I was carrying for magazines. But let's jump out to the range. In reference to these, they upgraded from these. So this is a decent starter pistol if you like that size. But Taurus came out with the GX4. It doesn't have the second strike capabilities, which that's not a selling point for most people, but it's a much better trigger. And it's a much better firearm. And still at a pretty decent price. So if you're thinking about an entry-level Taurus, I would recommend a GX4 before I would recommend one of these. So that will be that. Let's jump out to the range. We started with the G2C. And as I said, I never shot this bad boy well, and it didn't start then. So let's jump out there, take a look at that, and we'll bounce back in. All right, good people. So we out here with our budget specials. This is where it all started. We got our G series, got some Taurus. This is the G2C original version and the G3C. So this is our budget outing. We're gonna put some rounds through these bad boys. And then we're gonna cover them on the tabletop. So this target, I've already played around with a little bit in the center. So we're gonna walk these four corners and just kind of see what we can do with it. Upper left. Way off. Slow it down. Looks like I'm pulling heavy right. Everything's going right. Okay, slow down a bit here. Second strike capabilities, so it didn't lock back, but it pulled that trigger again. That's the G2C. That was not good. This one here has the original sights on there, so you do have adjustment on that rear sight, elevation. When they went to this G3C, they gave you the Glock sights on there. So let's see if we can come out the gate a little better. Because with this first round here, this bad boy, I'll show you where we at. Shooting at that upper left. Everything that we hit, we're hitting here. So we're definitely, I don't know that I'm pulling, but it's got such a long pull on the trigger, I could be. All right, so as you can see, I'm all over the place with this bad boy. It's shooting right. I'm holding dead center, and it's still shooting right. So I went through a magazine with this bad boy and kind of rotated on over to the G3C. Because it wasn't designed to be a lengthy range day. I knew I was going to do the review, so I just wanted to have some range footage to roll in here just to kind of show them in action. So we jumped from the G2C over to the G3C with the sights. And that went much better. So let's head back out to the range. But let's see how this G3C runs. And that'll tell us if we're pulling. So let's go with that. We're going to switch to upper right and see where we're hitting here. Bring it back a little bit. That's better. Better sight picture. Those lock sights. This is much better. Oh, yeah. So the good thing about this is, of the compacts, when these were coming out, this had the best grip, in my opinion, as far as for larger hands. So it still gave you a subcompact, but thick firearm, but a nice grip. And that was before they start coming with the larger grips. Everybody was going for capacity and compactness, but Taurus was kind of giving you, because this is 12 round capacity, but still a decent grip. So let's go back to that top target there on the right, finish this mag. One left. So let's pull that in. Yeah, so that's much better. Much better. So as you can see, shooting the irons on the G3C is a night and day difference. So this bad boy, it's on for irons. With the subcompacts, you don't get much room for error with that short sight radius. So a little bit of movement, you're off. But nonetheless, it was a decent shot group, so no complaints at all. The trigger is something different. You just got to get used to the trigger. It is not a great trigger at all, but for the money, it's a decent platform. It served the purpose. Like I say, these are my first EDCs, and I was content with these bad boys. Reliability was there, so that was the main thing. So no issues there. So ran those rounds through there. I have the laser on here. I hadn't done anything. This bad boy has been sitting for a while, and people always wonder, do these lasers hold zero? So this was going to tell us whether it held zero or not. So let's jump back out to the range. We ran a magazine through the laser, and we'll come back in and talk about it. So let's see if this laser is dialed in. I haven't carried this thing for a while. Yeah. I guess we need to first see. Batteries might be dead in this bad boy. Oh, there we go. Talk about dim. Let's see. I'll go to that bottom right. Let's see if that laser's on. Wow. That's good. I need this bad boy as well with the ejection. A little snappy too. Look at the edge shooting spoil me. All right, bottom right, that's laser, which that's good enough action for self-defense. So that bad boy is still dialed in, but the irons are much more accurate. So as you can see, the laser is still on, and it's been easily over a couple of years, probably, since I had this out. Definitely a year and a half or so. And for self-defense, the laser is what you're likely going to go through if you get to choose a sight at all. Most times you're point and shoot. But for that tight group, or that shot group that it put out there, that's more than sufficient for self-defense. So no complaints there. I did want to run another round of the G2C to see if I could redeem myself. So I ran another magazine through that. So let's take a look at that footage real quick, and then we'll come back in. So let's go back out there, and we're going to run that G2C again and see if we can't come up with a better grouping on that bad boy. So let's drop down. Well, actually, we can go right back to that top left target because we did no damage to it on that first run. So let's see if we can redeem ourselves here. It's shooting right, so let me just aim left. Wow. It's weird. Let me go to the bottom. I don't know where this bad boy is hidden. It's got a mind of its own. Yeah. Let's see. It's off the reservoir. Bring it down. Nope. Nope. This bad boy here. It's pretty much doing its own thing. We are hitting no target. So, all right. So as you can see, it got no better with the G2C. I even tried holding to the left, and it still didn't matter. This bad boy was still shooting off to the right. So it does its own thing. It almost seems like the barrel is just dancing around in there. So, but it is what it is. It's just one for the closet now. I finished up with a round through the G2C just to close out, and then we wrapped it up. So let's go back out for that. We finished with the irons on the G3C, and then we brought it on back in. So let's go to that bottom left target there. Let's make sure we're still running. We're still good. Let's go to that bottom left target and run this last mag here. Oh yeah, we are clear. So yeah, the iron sights on this bad boy was definitely a step up from that G2C. So we're in that bottom box shooting a little rapid, but that's good enough for range day action. The hot brass in the pocket there. So we're gonna wrap it there. We'll finish up on the tabletop on the other side, and we'll cover these bad boys. Out. All right, so as you can see, we finished decent with the G3C. Just to finish off our ammo, we shot what we had. Holsters on these bad boys. I had the carbon fiber for this one, designed for the laser. So that's a nice setup there. And then for the backup, just a one sleeve here. And then same over here, this wasn't a carbon fiber, but this was just like an Amazon holster. So a nice setup for that there. But one thing about these bad boys is holsters and things like that you can find easily because they've been around and you can find them inexpensive. So I'll keep these in the collection. They're good to play around with if you got like a family range day or somebody just want to try something different. So I'll hold it. I'm not much on selling guns, so I'll keep it. It just won't get much action. But that's it for now. It's your boy BTG, aka Bust Them Guns. If you got any questions on these, hit me up. They've been out for a while. Like I say, if you're looking to get into a Taurus, I would recommend the GX4 before grabbing one of these, unless there's something specific about this that you want, like the second strike capabilities with the trigger or something like that. Some people are still carrying these bad boys because they like them. I really liked the grip on these when they first came out because of the micros. Nobody else had a grip that was filling the hand like this. You know, they were much better pistols. You had the Hellcat that was nice. That's what I went to after this. But the Hellcat was snappy. The grip was okay because they offered the 15-round magazine, so you had more sleeve hanging down to hold on to. But these are decent firearms for the money. If it's something that you're interested in, check them out. But I would recommend shooting one before you spend your money on it because there's much better options out there. So until next time, I'll catch you on the other side. Holla.